Hey guys, how are you all doing? Welcome to my channel. So, today we are gonna see, what if Naruto lives in a female village, part 2. So before we start, go check out the author of this fanfic, JREAPS24. Subscribe if you enjoy the video. Let's start the story. It seems that Naruto has done a lot within 1 month. I should have thought about sending him to Konoha earlier. Minato read over the reports his clone sent him from Konoha. He had sent both him and Hinata back without asking for a fee, stating it was from the kindness of his heart, but that was far from the truth. The truth was he sent Naruto or his ass-kissing clone, as he sometimes calls him, to collect information about anything Konoha had down to the missing nins and the Akatsuki group. That was the primary objective, while the secondary ones were to draw Akatsuki out of wherever they were. He was truly happy about his results if the information he gained was to go by. Arashi scoffed at his words. He didn't like the idea of Konoha getting any form of help from Konoha. What if he gets too attached to Konoha and Nikki, especially with that stalker Hyuga girl? I still say it was a bad idea to send him off with the girl that loved you from the academy. Minato waved it off as unimportant. Arashi's teeth bit down in anger. Don't worry about Hinata-san because she's dead, just like my special bomb killed the Reikage. The Hyuga elders didn't like her association with Naruto, so they placed a new version of the caged seal on her, hoping to break her will. The seal was too much for her, so it killed her. At first they believed she was simply weak until they tried it on someone else, ending in the same results. The new Hyuga heir is her younger sister Hanabi Hyuga. Arashi sighed in relief, but something about what Minato said didn't make sense. Wait, how did you kill a cage in a simple explosion? Surely someone like him that fought the Yondaime Hokage couldn't have died off with just a simple explosion, right? Minato allowed a grin to appear on his face as he turned to Arashi. He was waiting for someone to ask him about the explosion killing a cage so easily. You're right, it wasn't a simple explosion that killed him. If you noticed the area now, you would have noticed that Kumo's entire dock was taken out by a single bomb. Kumo had the second largest dock, the first being Kiri, of course. That was just a small version of the nuclear bomb I'm working on right now. The one I'm working on will be able to take out an entire village of my choosing. This will help me get Nadeshiko to be recognized as a great shinobi village, thus resulting in a 6th great shinobi village under Land of Water. The Land of Water will rise beyond the other nations and to the top. No longer will Konoha be considered the best shinobi village ever. Shizuka allowed a smile to grace her lips, as did Arashi. But Minato-kun, when will I be able to call you by your real name? It feels odd calling you by something other than Naruto-kun. It was Naruto that I fell in love with after all. She placed her head on his shoulders. It just felt odd for her to call him anything other than Naruto, and it bothered her for some reason. Don't worry, Shizuka-chan, despite the council members liking the clone right now, the people of Konoha still hate him. They'll find a way to have him removed or killed. If that time comes around, he'll return with a few gifts from Konoha. If that doesn't happen, then I'm sure Sasuke will kill him. Apparently they managed to bring the spoiled brat back to Konoha. He's angry at my clone because of his powers. He believes only an Uchiha is worthy of power, as always. Either way, it doesn't look good for Naruto, which is where you will come in, Arashi. Should anything happen to Naruto, you will absorb him and gain any knowledge he gained over the month, but do so in secret. Once he's gone, then I'll emerge as Naruto once again. Right now I just want you to monitor him from the shadows, but please refrain from bringing unwanted attention to yourself. If you see Akatsuki making a move to the village, take them out once they're a safe distance from Konoha. Arashi pulled out a white mask to go with his outfit, then put it over his head, giving him the appearance of a phantom. He bowed his head, then took off for his assignments, leaving behind a mist outline of himself that slowly faded away. Naruto turned towards Naruko as he began thinking of a task she would be able to handle. Just take care of Jin for now until something appears for you. I'm sure the others would love for you to take him off their hands. Naruko nods her head before taking off to find their youngest sibling Jin. She didn't mind taking care of him at all, seeing as he wasn't a normal child at all. Naruto redirected his attention to the last person in the room, being his wife. So what do you think of my plan so far for Shizuka-chan? She paused for a few seconds to gather her thoughts. So far everything seems to be going according to plan. I'm surprised that Konoha didn't find anything strange about him. Also, have you found anything about your mother and her status on the Dragon Scroll? He shook his head at this. He still didn't know why his mother's name suddenly became active on the Dragon's contract, and the Dragons wouldn't tell him anything, so he had to find out on his own. The fact that she was still alive meant something, but what did it mean? I'm not sure about her right now, but I'm sure I'll find information on her or actually meet her. It would be nice to meet my mother and spend some time with her. Maybe I would finally get to know her and how she was alive again. If she wasn't dead in the first place, then her connection to the summons must have gone so weak that the dragons thought she died. That's my only explanation. If not that, then I don't know what's going on then. I guess only time will all my questions be answered. Right now we have a plan to succeed. He allowed a large smile to appear on his face at the thought of his plan going to plan, though he knew he would have to make a few adjustments should an event occur that wasn't in his favor. Konoha. Naruto walked through Konoha with the biggest smile on his face. This was one of the emotions he showed, though there weren't many to choose from. He didn't get upset, angry or anything that wasn't positive, and that pissed so many people off when they threw an insult his way or threw something at him. He didn't care about what the others did because he was on a super mission to gather information for his Aniki. He would do anything to make himself proud of him, so he gathered everything on Konoha, though he had to do a little sneaking around due to his status being genin. The council members stated that he would have to work his way to the top like everyone else. He noticed that Sasuke received the rank already, and he was missing Nin. He merely shrugged it off as nothing. He wasn't here to rank up at all. Naruto was brought from his musing when two appeared in front of him. Naruto Uzumaki, I would like to see you right away. Naruto bowed his head then vanished, leaving two amused. Naruto reappeared in the towers where Tsunade was seated with an irritated look. He looked around for Danzo, but Tsunade snapped her fingers, gaining her attention. I'm Hokage again, Naruto. Someone leaked information about me trying to drop the position over to Danzo, and the Fire Daimyo sent a letter over to us. To sum things up, he scolds me with a letter stating that only he would be able to choose a Hokage. I guess I'll be here for a while trying to dig Konoha out of their predicament. Anyway, a few days ago there was an attack on the Land of Fire's temple by a pair of Akatsuki members. They took not only a pseudo-Jinchuriki by the name of Sora, but they killed and retrieved a man by the name of Chiriku for the bounty on his head. I have already sent out teams to intercept the duo. I believe they will head to the closest black market for the bounty on Chiriku, which is where the teams went to. I haven't heard any word from any of them yet, so I'm sending you over there, plus you're the only one able to match Flash Master's speed if the reports I've read about is to go by. Now head out as soon as possible. Hi Hokage-sama. Naruto took off quickly, leaving Tsunade and her small bottle of sake. She stopped right as her hand reached the bottle as she noticed something odd about Naruto. For one, he didn't refer to her as Bachin or anything old. He's been calling her by her title lately. There was also the lack of necklace that she gave him. She never did get that necklace back from him, so where was it? Her mind thought about the events which involved his return. Not only did he return with Hinata without any fee request, but he joined them without any hesitation at all. He was not only treated badly here, but tossed out, and yet he came back to them. Something about that didn't sound right, but the question was what? She shook her head. The Ashi, Tsume, and Shibi confirmed his chakra type, and his scent to be that of the Naruto they knew, so maybe it was the war getting to them. Not only that, but the information about Naruto being banished is floating around to their allies. If it wasn't for Jiraiya, then Konoha would have been left alone to fight the war. They had to bribe Naruto to tell them that what they heard were just rumors. She was glad he complied with them, saving their alliance with the others. This didn't stop them from being suspicious about Konoha. Tsunade grabbed the sake bottle and downed it to alleviate some stress. She really did enjoy 3 whole weeks of relaxing here and there. Too bad all things come to an end though. She really wanted to sit back and relax, but there were too many things she had to deal with. Once the war was over, she would have the daimyo select a new. She wasn't planning on staying in Hokage until she reached her 70s like her sensei did. She had a life unlike the old monkey, and it wasn't going to be wasted on arguing with foolish minds. It was as if Konoha allowed itself to grow weaker as time passed. This wasn't the Konoha she grew up with at all. A knock soon brought her from her thoughts. She placed the sake bottle back on the shelf. You may enter. The door opened up, revealing the scowling face of Hinabi Hyuga. After Hinata's death, several people changed for the worse, especially Hinabi. Hinabi was ruthless to everyone in the Hyuga clan, both the main house and the branch house. She no longer viewed Hiashi as a father, but rather a failure for allowing her sister to suffer for so long. She saw everyone in her clan as enemies that needed to be put down one day. Her sister already proved how kindness wouldn't get her anywhere. She would not show any mercy for any side. She would become the perfect Hyuga. Sorry for interrupting Hokage-sama, but I needed you to sign a few papers about the Hyuga clan. Also, I have a few things I would like to discuss with you about the Hyuga clan, but I'll wait until my foolish associate gets here. A Hyuga branch member came through the doors holding stacks of papers. He had sweat pouring down his face, plus he was out of breath. You sure did take your time getting here, Branch-san. There was a lot of irritation in her voice which made the Hyuga branch nervous. I'm sorry, pain erupted from his caged seal, forcing him to drop all the papers he had. He clutched his head in pain as Hinabi continued channeling chakra to her appropriate seal. Tsunade slammed her fist, shattering the desk into pieces to get her attention. Hinabi released the seal and watched as he withered in pain. The image of Hinata withering in pain came back to her, as well as the memory. Flashback, I told you not to associate with a demon boy, but you continue to defy us, Hyuga. We warned you over and over not to go near that boy, but you did more than that. Since our words aren't helping at all, I believe the seal should work. You will be placed in the branch house as well and receive the caged seal today. Fortunately for us, we won't have to wait to place the seal on you. We have modified the caged seal, allowing us to place it on anyone anytime. The Hyuga members placed a seal on her forehead, much to Hanabi's horror, then channeled chakra into it. The seal glowed brightly for a few seconds before fading away. At first the elders thought it failed due to the lack of reactions, but the pain soon kicked in. Hinata clutched her forehead in pain as she dropped to the ground. The seal started glowing again as more pain went through her body. The Hyuga elders waited until the seal stopped glowing to show its success, but it didn't. Hanabi watched as her older sister rolled around in pain. Blood started leaking from her mouth, creating small puddles of blood. Hinata clawed at her forehead, hoping the pain would stop. The elders watched with confusion on their faces as to why Hinata was like this, but remembered how fragile she was, or in her mind she was. Hinata continued screaming in pain for the next 10 minutes, then stopped completely. The seal had stopped glowing, so the Hyuga elders took this as a sign of success. They walked away from their clan's failure to allow her to recover, not noticing that she hadn't moved at all. Hanabi watched Hinata for any signs that she was okay, but nothing happened yet. She went over and placed 2 fingers on her neck to see if she was okay. Tears streamed down her face when she didn't feel any pulse at all. Hanabi glared at the spot the Hyuga elders were. They just killed her older sister, and they would suffer. Flashback end. We're here for a meeting, not to watch you torture your own clan members, Hyuga. If you want to torture your own clan members, then do it away from this office. Hanabi glared at the branch member on the ground with promises of torture later. Everyone in her clan would suffer at her hands one way or another. I'm sorry about that, Hokage-sama. I would like to start our discussion right away. Tsunade nodded her head before motioning Hanabi to sit down, knowing she was in for a long meeting. Unknown area. It seems that the Kyuubi container has made an appearance in Konoha. Zetsu looked over to his master's back and waited for an answer. That sounds like good news indeed, Zetsu. I want you to keep an eye on him and don't lose track of him this time. I want to know his location at a moment's notice, so when we have all 8-tailed beasts captured and contained, we'll be able to grab him. Did you find the location of the 8-tailed and 2-tailed hosts of Zetsu? I'm sorry, master, but it would seem that they are on the move. We haven't had any luck in finding them yet, sir. I will put my spy network into overdrive, master. Very well, you may leave, Zetsu, and be careful not to be seen. The last thing we would want is for attention to focus onto us. This war will provide us with enough cover to sneak around for a little while. Zetsu sank into the ground and took off to find his target. It seems that your goal has gotten complicated, right, Madara-san? Madara Uchiha turned to one of the remaining Uchiha clan members, Itachi Uchiha. His orange spiral mask hid his smile perfectly. How nice of you to join me today, Itachi-san. It seems that the Jinchuriki hosts have either left their village or been banished from their village, except the one-tailed host. Suna was able to see how they could help their village reach greatness while the others haven't yet. We have to relocate 7 of the hosts once again. Zetsu has been working overtime and finding them, but they seem to gain more stealth abilities, especially when they need it the most. Things are getting ridiculous for us right now, but that will change soon. We will find them one way or another and take their tailed beast. Itachi didn't comment on Madara. Good luck in doing so, Madara-san. He turned away and walked away to see how strong the Kyuubi host had grown, and maybe his little brother as well. Madara continued staring at the doorway while he wondered how Itachi managed to sneak up on him without alerting him. There were only a few things that he knew about Itachi, even down. Itachi never revealed much information about himself, nor did he show any emotion when he was here. Itachi was in a sense the perfect soldier, even down to his brutal killings. When he killed someone, he never left any indication that he did it. He used very limited skills, being the basics, to get his job done, but at the same time keeping many skills a secret. Madara didn't like that at all about Itachi. I need to get more information on Itachi. With that last thought, he swirled out of existence. Excuse me, sir, but have you seen anyone wearing black cloaks with red clouds today? Naruto waited for the man to respond. I haven't seen the Akatsuki today at all. Maybe they went to another black market, sir. There are a few others not far from here that they would most likely go to, but you didn't hear that from me. Naruto caught on to what he said. Of course I didn't get it from you, but rather a weak criminal. I'll be on my way now. Naruto walked out the building, then vanished once he was sure the area was clear. He traveled to several small and large black market points, but he didn't have any luck in finding the Akatsuki pair. After marking off the areas he traveled to already, he traveled to the last area and found the Akatsuki duo fighting a team consisting of Shikamaru, Kitetsu, Asuma, and Kamizuki. Right now Hayden was trying to stab himself while he was in a red circle made of blood. Shikamaru was preventing Hayden from stabbing himself, while the other two were barely able to dodge Kakuzu's attacks. Both were in trouble right now, but Asuma seemed to need more help if the blood leaking from him was to go by. Once his mind was made up, he blurred from his spot. Hayden didn't know what happened, nor did Shikamaru, when Hayden not only vanished from his circle, but he was left with the metal rod used for the ritual. Hayden felt his body smashing through trees one after another. The hand around his throat made him aware that he was being slammed into trees by someone. Naruto released Hayden once he smashed him through his 50-second tree. He watched in fascination as Hayden slowly rose from the ground, cursing the person that did this to him. Hayden stood up and stared at the assailant in front of him and cursed inwardly when he saw the headband. So Konoha has sent more fucking suckers here to help their little butt buddies. I guess Konoha is just all talk losers. Naruto's smile never left his face. Hello, I'm Naruto Uzumaki, and it's nice to meet you. Hayden blinked in surprise when he revealed himself to be one of Akatsuki's targets. If he captured him now, then he would get a big reward for doing so. A cruel smile appeared on his face as he introduced himself. Hello dead meat, I'm the person that will be bringing you back with us. Sorry Voodoo-san, but I'm into girls. Shikamaru could have heard a scream that sounded like I'm not gay, but he shook those thoughts off. He needed to prevent Asuma from bleeding to death right now. He glanced as the other members on his temporary team fought Hayden's partner. He could easily tell that he was just playing with them, and it scared him to see how strong this man was compared to Hayden. He could easily see how strong he was compared to Hayden. He didn't seem interested in any of the members right now. Speaking of Hayden, where was he? How did Hayden move from his circle so fast, and how unless someone attacked him? The only person that should have been able to move at that speed was he allowed a smile to appear on his lips. It seems that Naruto did indeed make it just on time and prevented Hayden from killing his sensei. He couldn't wait to see the blonde-headed teen to thank him. What are you smiling about, Shikamaru? He turned his attention to Asuma, who was sitting up now. Okage-sama sent Naruto, and he arrived just in time to prevent Hayden from finishing you off. He's probably causing lots of destruction right now. As if on point, several loud explosions went off. Asuma could only shake his head at the sheer size of the explosions. Kakuzu turned in the direction Hayden was, but found a total lack of Hayden. He cursed outwardly, then turned in the direction of the explosions. He began to wonder where Hayden went and why Asuma wasn't dead right now. Several more explosions went off once again. That idiot better not end up in pieces, or I might not be able to put him back together. While he was able to sew him together with his abilities, he wasn't sure if he would be able to puzzle Hayden back together. He increased his speed in hopes to prevent Hayden from being destroyed. Based on the explosions, the fight was going on 5 miles from their confrontation with Asuma. How the hell did he reach 5 miles within a few minutes? By the time he reached the area, he was greeted by the sight of a blonde teen standing in a large crater. The teen stabbed Hayden's special scythe into the ground in a few gathered ashes. Naruto turned around when he felt a new presence. The smile he had when he was destroying Hayden never left his face. I guess you missed the happy funeral, Kakuzu-san. It was the best funeral ever, and you missed the events. We had balloons, cake, lots of people, and so many fun things. Kakuzu was brought from his thoughts when his ring went off. Aka's please return to Akatsuki base immediately using the ring's emergence escape. Hayden's life source completely faded away, indicating he's dead. Bring his ring back to base as you leave. The mental connection was severed. Kakuzu blinked his eyes a few times only to find his guest gone. He searched the area for a few minutes, then left the area. He knew the team most likely had the ring by now, so there was no point in searching the area. Naruto appeared just as Asuma and the others were prepared to leave. Shikamaru allowed a smile to grace his lips as he approached him. Hey Naruto, it's nice of you to come by. We're heading back to Konoha where Asuma will get some real medical help. What happened to that Hayden guy anyway? I turned his body into ashes and borrowed his ring. He pulled out the Akatsuki ring to show Shikamaru. Shikamaru stared at him in awe that he was able to defeat an S-rank nin so easily while he had trouble fighting him. Asuma couldn't help but smile at him as well. Well, I want to hear about this once I get patched up in Konoha. It's not an easy feat to take out a missing nin so easily without breaking any sweat. Maybe you could offer a few tips to my students for future fights against Akatsuki. Naruto shrugged his shoulders. Sure, that sounds like a wonderful idea. They took off, not noticing that Arashi was listening to their conversation. He stared at the retreating form of Naruto. The idea of Naruto teaching Konoha anything didn't bode well with him. This nice Naruto had to go soon. He thought about things for a while until he received a great idea as to how he would get rid of Naruto and inflict major damage on Konoha and its alliance. Let's just say by the time he was done, not only would Konoha lose any allies the real Naruto helped them gain, but he would gain useful knowledge as well. The only thing he needed was the power-hungry Uchiha. Speaking of Uchiha, maybe he would take his eyes as well and seal them away for later uses. Konoha would suffer greatly no matter what. That Uchiha needs to be executed for killing a hero of the wave or this alliance is over. Tazuna remembered receiving a mysterious letter about the death of Naruto, along with pictures of his body as well. He was pissed about the information he received, especially when it mentioned how Sasuke wasn't going to be punished for his crime. To hear about a hero being killed without any type of punishment was beyond infuriating. He remembered Naruto's determination and his words to Inari when he was helping a wave country. If the Uchiha wasn't going to suffer for killing the wave country, then he would stop all trade between Konoha and his country. He was able to do that since he was the leader after all. Naruto was the reason why I was able to believe once again, and your traitorous Nine killed him in cold blood for power. Could you imagine how I feel right now, Hokage-sama? Of course you probably don't understand how I feel right now about losing the person I saw as my light. Koyuki had tears streaming down her face as the pictures of his body with a large Chidori hole went through her mind. She remembered the Uchiha Genin and always knew there was something off about it. To hear that he was being treated right now instead of publicly executed made her see Konoha in a more negative aspect. A place that treasures criminals like the Uchiha wasn't a place she wanted to stay allied with. She would stop any trade between Konoha and the Snow Country. Why is Naruto-kun dead, Hokage-sama? I thought Konoha valued friendship and loyalty. I thought Konoha was a place of loyalty. Toki finally broke down after trying to hold in her tears for so long. From this day forth any alliance with the land of birds is no more. Not only did my shining hero in armor die, but I heard about Hinata's death by her own family, and it sickens me to be in the same room as you, Hokage-sama. Haruno glared at the Hokage for the deaths of her heroes at the hands of Konoha nins. Naruto and Hinata did so much for the land of vegetables, so hearing how no consequences were given out when they died at the hands of fellow nins angered her. My village honors loyalty to both nins and friendship. If any of my men was to kill another for power, then he would have been punished to the highest level, but sadly that isn't the case here in Konoha. Takigakure will no longer fight alongside a traitorous loving bunch. Who's to stop you guys from stabbing us in the back? Shibuki glared at the Hokage with as much hate as he could muster. Naruto's death had affected him greatly. He began to wonder if Konoha would have told him about Naruto's death instead of finding out from a letter left by some unknown person. He had a feeling they were going to make it seem like he died in the war to keep their alliance. He was grateful for the letter and pictures. Tsunade could only sit by as they assaulted her verbally. She was glad they didn't get physical with her. While she could easily kill them with her fist, she knew it wouldn't be a good idea. Right now she wished she was not the Hokage because right now, that Uchiha brat just landed her in a hard spot and the council members made it so nothing could happen to him. It didn't help that they had the fire daimyo on their side. Since Sasuke lost his Sharingan, the civilian council members have been breathing down her neck every second. They wanted to make sure the last Uchiha didn't die out just like the clan. She sighed in frustration at the stress she was left with. Look guys, I'm upset about Naruto's death as well, but cutting the alliance won't do any good. Naruto wanted to protect Konoha with everything he had. How do you think he would feel if Konoha crumbles to the ground? I bet he'll be glad when that happens. He must be rolling in his grave right now that the Uchiha team killed him without punishment. He's probably planning to haunt Konoha right now. The others agreed with Tazuna much to Tsunade's irritation. The chances of saving their alliance were slimming away. And what do you all expect me to do, send a blind boy to his death? Sasuke has suffered greatly as well. He lost his eyes which he depended on. Not only did his dream crumble, but any chance of being a shinobi as well. We can't give him normal eyes because the vision would simply fail. His eyes were able to withstand stress, but normal eyes won't be able to do the same. Let's not forget the fact that his body has a certain genetic code that the eyes must match in order to work effectively. He wasn't blind when he killed the hero of the wave, now he was Hokage-sama. Tazuna was met with another group agreement. I knew something was off about that boy since I laid my eyes on him. Naruto was bright like the sun while that boy was shadier than Geto. That boy needs to be executed or our alliance is over. Now this is your final decision, Hokage-sama. Either Sasuke Uchiha dies or we cut all ties to Konoha. Tsunade didn't answer him, but Tazuna knew she wouldn't order Uchiha's death. Very well, it seems that you've made your decision, Hokage-sama. Consider our alliance with Wave Country terminated. We will no longer aid you in this war, and I'm sure that goes for anyone else here. The others agreed with Tazuna once again. Tsunade soon remembered something about Takigakure. Wait, what about Taki Shibuki-san? Surely Iwa, Kumo, and Odo won't back off because you are no longer allied with us. Backing out the alliance means that you'll have no one to support you. Shibuki scoffed at her attempt to save their alliance. Don't worry about my village, Hokage-sama. I made backup plans before coming here, so my village will do fine without Konoha's help. I think I've been here long enough, Hokage-sama, so I'll be on my way out." The group slowly made their way out into the cold. Shibuki cursed whoever thought it was to have the meeting in Iron Country, which was a very cold place to hold a meeting. While he understood it was best to hold the meeting in neutral areas, why couldn't it be a place like Hot Spring Country? Nadeshiko, during the meeting, the clone has been eliminated by Sasuke Uchiha, but at a high cost. I took his eyes from him and left him alive. I thought it would be more painful for the team to live knowing he lost his precious eyes. He depends on his eyes so much that taking it away will drive him crazy. Arashi unsealed the Mangekyo Sharingan and gave it to Minato. Minato looked at the pair of eyes before sealing them away for later purposes. "Very well, I will emerge as Naruto once again. The real Naruto will be using his name from now on. Clone Naruto is dead. Naruto, since my mission is over, could I have a personal mission to Iwa? I would like to weaken them enough for Kiri to force them to submit to us. I would like a personal mission as well, Naruto." Naruto turned to find Naruto in battle gear. "I want to attack Kumo, thus allowing Kiri to deal major damage to them. Once we conquer them, we could limit them to a certain amount of nins, thus keeping them weak. If they stay weak, then we don't have to worry about retaliation ever." Naruto thought about it for a while. "Very well, you two may do whatever you want." Arashi and Naruto allowed bloodthirsty grins on their faces. Arashi soon came up with another idea that surprised Naruto. "Is it okay if we take your special nuclear bombs with us?" "What's a nuclear bomb, Naruto?" Arashi was about to say something, but realized that he too didn't know what the nuclear bomb truly was. He knew it was a bomb, but where did the nuclear come from? "I call it a nuclear bomb because of what it actually does. The bomb is created from several seals, and metal of course. What happens is that one of the seals containing atoms collected over time is charged by a few other seals. There are about 200 seals charging the atoms without any signs of stopping. The seals at the bottom of the explosion cut one of the atoms, thus causing a chain reaction. All the collected atoms explode, thus resulting in a mega explosion. The name nuclear was given when I noticed the hazardous effects as a result of the explosion. It takes 2 weeks for plant life to come back once again. There are a few other effects such as mutation to the human body if they are too close to the shockwave." By now Arashi had a new respect for the bomb. He couldn't believe that this bomb, being the size of a teen, could cause so much damage. Arashi and Naruto sealed the only 2 bombs he created, then took off to cause destruction in Kumo and Iwa. They didn't have to worry about Konoha seeing, as they were about to lose their allies soon. Naruto watched as the 2 clones went off to their doom. He knew they would die, and he was sure they knew the risk they were putting themselves in as well. If they died, then only the baby version of him would remain. A small smoke touched his face, and he turned to find said clone trying to produce fire to burn him once again. His eyebrow twitched in annoyance towards this infant. If he wasn't sleeping or eating, he was attacking something or someone with his chubby fist. Shizuka turned her head as she continued holding the infant, pretending she didn't see him trying to beat him up. Naruto flicked Jin's forehead a few times and watched as he covered his face with his hands. He couldn't help but smile at how cute he was trying to block his face. "You know, for a brat you're sure cute." The infant removed his hands and giggled. Naruto stared at him with mild amusement. A small puff alerted him of his summons entering the area. He turned to find his messenger dragon. "Sorry to interrupt you, but your mother will be here within the next 5 minutes. She had a few things to take care of, like relearning how to walk properly and basically relearn most of her life. While she retained knowledge, her body wasn't prepared to the way she was used to." Another puff of smoke appeared, revealing another dragon and a red-haired goddess wearing a battle kimono. The 2 dragons left the area to give the duo time together. Shizuka stared at the lady that was supposed to be Naruto's mother in awe. The only difference was her hair and her eyes, which were purple instead. Shizuka felt the infant wiggle in her hands and placed it on the ground. Jin slowly crawled towards her as if he knew her. Kushina waited until the mini Naruto was near her, then picked him up. "I'm guessing this is my grandson Naruto-kun." "No, he's a special clone I accidentally created. In a way he's your youngest son." Kushina kissed his chubby cheeks. "Well, I guess you want an explanation as to why I'm alive as well as why I wasn't around to raise you." Naruto gave a small nod. "Alright, I'll explain things over some tea, Naruto-kun. Plus I want to learn about your life and why you're not in Konoha. As a matter of fact, I want to learn everything about my little baby, plus get to know any girl you're dating right now." "Alright, but I think Jin will need a diaper change soon." It was then Kushina smelled Jin and covered her nose. Jin covered his nose as well, plus tried to fan the smell away. Kushina giggled at Jin's behavior. Kushina, Naruto, and Shizuka left the room carrying Jin as he continued fanning the smell away. Unknown location. The Kyuubi brat is Pain-san. The words Kyuubi and dead shocked both Madara and Pain. Madara hid his unholy anger at this news. Pain's face remained impassive, as ever. Who killed the container, Zetsu-san? Madara waited for Zetsu to answer Pain's question, eager to know who killed the Kyuubi's container. He would make that person suffer dearly. It was Sasuke Uchiha that killed him, sir. No one knows exactly why he did it, but he did. The Kyuubi brat managed to destroy his eyes, leaving him blind. Right now he's in a secured location to heal and possibly rebuild the Uchiha clan once more. Also, Konoha has lost all their allies because they wouldn't execute the Uchiha boy. Their allies saw the Kyuubi brat as a hero in their countries, so to hear their hero's death at the hands of a Konohanin enraged them. Right now Konoha is on their own, considering the fact that soon as council members have decided to separate from Konoha. Pain's facial expression didn't change at all when he received the information. He could sense Madara's hate increase and knew Madara wanted Sasuke's head. Having some Uzumaki blood flow through him allowed him to sense Madara's negative emotions, and it was rolling off him in waves. I want you to send Deidara and Sasori to kill the Uchiha and cripple Konoha greatly. Pain cut in before Zetsu could leave. Don't worry about that, Madara-san, I will take care of this personally. Besides, I do have a personal score to settle with Konoha. It was Konoha that was killed by my family and my best friend. I do believe it's time that they experienced pain unlike before. When I'm finished with them, they will all know pain unlike before. Madara thought about it for a while, then agreed to send Pain instead. Pain would be able to find the little Uchiha rat and destroy him with ease. Very well, Pain, you may attack Konoha at any time. Also beware of Itachi while you're at it. I don't know where his loyalty truly lies, plus we don't know much about him after all. He doesn't seem like the type to destroy his clan from going crazy if the rumors are to go by. There's something about him that I don't like, so be careful. Pain acknowledged what Madara was trying to say. He too didn't know what Itachi was up to or anything about him. He summoned his other bodies before heading to Konoha too. He would bring Konan along to help him locate Sasuke with her unique skills. Kiri, Izuku-sama, we received word that the leader of Nadeshiko had sent 2 associates to weaken Kumo and Iwa severely. He wants us to attack both areas at once, but don't you think that's risky? Mei took the note from Ao and read it a few times. The hunter nin stood by as her facial expression changed a few times. He must have some heavy firepower prepared, knowing him. I know for a fact that the leader wouldn't ask anything without having a good reason. Knowing him, he must have a way to cripple both countries, leaving us to deliver the killing blow. If that's the case, then this war will be over quickly. Besides, he was the one to eliminate Kumo's harbor and their wreckage from one explosion. If I was to guess how he would be able to cripple both sides, I would guess that he has many of those bombs created or a bigger version. Thoughts of a bigger bomb explosion sent shivers up Ao's spine. The image of the explosion and the effects from that bomb would be devastating. I'm glad he's on our side, Mei-san. I doubt even a snowy country would be able to create bombs like that. They probably don't even know about it. I'm willing to bet that Nadeshiko is the only village to have a bomb like that. Right now they have the most advanced sensor system out there, and now the greatest bombs. Water Country will be able to rise to greatness once again. When we win this war, everyone will remember why Water Country was considered one of the greatest out of 5. Not only will that happen, but Nadeshiko will most likely rise as a great shinobi village, while Kumo and Iwa will lose their titles. Mei allowed a smile to grace her lips. We'll be able to make demands to the earth and lightning daimyo and force them to make some sort of commitment to us. Commitment, they'll have no choice but to love the Water Country out of fear of being destroyed by us. Love, water countries will gain much more, plus our relationship with Nadeshiko will pump much fear in their hearts. Relationship. Ao turned to find Mei staring in his direction. Her eyes were hidden by the bangs of her hair. Shut up or I'll kill you. Ao gulped in fear, as well as the other nins around him. They slowly made their way out, not wanting to feel any wrath of her anytime soon. A few whispered a few prayers for Ao on their way out. Ao on the other hand stayed silent, not knowing what he did to upset her. As a matter of fact, he would remain silent unless spoken to. The last thing he wanted was for her to melt him. I'm sorry, Mizuki-sama. He had no idea what he was apologizing about, but it seemed like a good idea right now to apologize. Mei smiled a little and accepted his apology. I accept your apology, Ao. Now let's get down to business. Ao was still very wary of her. She could be very scary at times, especially when he said something to piss her off, though he wasn't sure what angered her. Odo, Orochimaru-sama, it seems that Sasuke Uchiha has lost his eyes and possibly gained more enemies when he killed Naruto Uzumaki. Also, Konoha has lost their allies as well, leaving Konoha all alone. I'm sure their ally Suna will also leave them on their own. I guess Sasuke's body is off limits, especially if Akatsuki finds out about his death at the Uchiha's hand. I have no doubt that Akatsuki will send someone to attack not only the Uchiha, but Konoha as well. Orochimaru didn't know how to feel at the moment. Sure, he was happy with Konoha suffering, but he was pissed that Sasuke lost his eyes. But on the other hand, he had 15 women that were 1 month pregnant with Sasuke's children. He would have to make sure none of them died so he could have the Uchiha one day. Orochimaru turned to the new form of Kabuto. Kabuto not only turned pale just like him, but he grew a tail that had a snake's head. Is there anything else to report about Kabuto-san? How are Iwa and Kumo holding up lately? Surely losing their Raikage didn't do too much damage, right? Orochimaru was surprised to hear how easily the Raikage was defeated. Apparently he was caught off guard completely. Unfortunately, they didn't just lose a cage Orochimaru-sama, but their entire harbor as well. Based on the damage of the area, it seems that there is a new type of bomb more advanced than any paper bomb we encountered. This bomb seems more effective, and I'm sure we'll be seeing more of this bomb later. I make it impossible for plant life to grow for at least 2 to 3 weeks, though I'm not 100% sure how long. There is also a high amount of radiation produced from this bomb. I haven't yet found out who made the bombs yet, but I will one way or another. Orochimaru seemed amused by this little information. What about their Jinchuriki? Surely Kumo managed to keep them on a leash, right? Kabuto allowed a grin to adorn his face. They escaped the same day of the Raikage's death, along with someone by the name of Mabui. They believe the three are traveling together and avoiding many open areas. They're most likely playing it safe for now, but I'm sure the Akatsuki will be able to track them down easily. Orochimaru paused in mid-thoughts as to what he would do now. Any plans to retrieve the last Uchiha went out the window when Sasuke lost his eyes. Very well, Kabuto-san, I want you to find another candidate I will be able to switch bodies with since my preference is no longer available. I'll have to wait until the Uchiha children are born if they manage to make it. I will retrieve your body, Orochimaru-sama. Kabuto bowed his head, then went off to fetch his master of body. Unknown destination. So you guys want to still head to Nadeshiko even though they're in the war right now? Yujito looked over her companions B and Mabui to make sure she understood their plan. Mabui nodded her head and cut in before B tried to rap again. Nadeshiko is allied to Kiri, which declared war on the two countries. Kiri was able to take out a large number of Kumo and Iwa Nins in Hot Springs country, plus there are rumors about Kyuubi fighting alongside Kiri Nins. That alone says a lot about Kiri, so they must have strong Nins in their forces. They were outnumbered greatly yet they came out on top of everything. Yujito could see where Mabui was coming from. And Iwa Nins were no pushovers, so for a small group to take out so many, destroy their harbor, and kill the Raikage showed great skills amongst the Nins. Alright Mabui, we'll head over to Nadeshiko right now. Besides, I hear rumors that it was a village filled with mostly female Nins. I hope the rumors were right so we won't have to worry about rapists. The last thing Yujito wanted was to head to a village filled with rapists. Gears and Kumo made her the way she was. Not only was she treated like a sex toy, but she was subjected to hate alongside B. Their treatment at the hands of the villagers brought them together as best friends. He was one of the people she trusted the most. Mabui was another one for defending her a few times, even though it was putting her at risk as well. She never forgot the good deeds Mabui did for her. He placed a comforting hand on their shoulders. Both Yujito and Mabui for some reason felt at ease. I'll be here for you two no matter what, so don't worry. Anyway, let's go see what this village is about, plus grab some food as well. If the village isn't up to your standards then we'll leave the village immediately. If it is then we'll join the ranks to gain some funds for a home and other things. Hearing B say this made Mabui and Yujito feel comfortable. Plus we'll get to see the honeys. Big booty bouncing like a bunny. Big tits. Yujito nailed him in the head with her fist, effectively stopping him and his horrible rap. She mumbled about non-rappers needing to quit trying. Mabui giggled at the scene of B rolling on the ground while complaining in a way only he was capable of. Ouch, my head, I see red. I'm pretty sure I'll bleed until I'm dead. Yujito's eyebrow twitched in annoyance. She sometimes wondered who made B the way he was, or did someone drop him on his head as a baby. Let's go to Mabui before he raps again. The three took off once again with a destination in mind being Nadeshiko. Naruto is introduced as leader of Nadeshiko, being a village consisting of all females not including himself after being banished from Konoha for failing to retrieve Sasuke Uchiha. Orochimaru is seeking strong females for Sasuke, but Naruto sent the Odo Nins back with wrong information regarding Nadeshiko. It is revealed that Naruto is the one to make the decision as to who is allowed to marry his female Nins, plus he helped them get stronger by spreading parts of the Uzumaki to every female Nin. He is respected by everyone that reside there. Konoha is at war with Odo, Iwa, and Kumo, with their allies being Sunagakure, Takigakure, and Hashigakure, which Jiraiya of Konohagakure tells him about. Naruto reveals Bing book name as Flash Master to Jiraiya and later Konoha instead of Naruto. Jiraiya convinces Naruto to come towards Konoha to set up an alliance for aid, but due to Junhurino, Naruto says no and threatens them before leaving. Hyuga head Hiashi, the Uchiha clan head Kakashi, the Akamichi clan head Choza, and the Yamanaka clan head Inoichi are revealed to be Naruto haters on Shinobi, who joined the civilian council members on the council members' side. The elders are neutral towards him. Orochimaru's time and switching bodies is revealed to council members, causing a stir amongst them. Tsunade deploys an elite team consisting of Kakashi, Guy, Asuma, Jiraiya, and Kurenai, though Kurenai is taken away when a mission appears. They use Pikachu Beetle to assist them. Chapter 2. Orochimaru reveals his intention about Sasuke and girls to his loyal nin Kabuto. Kushina is revealed to be alive under Orochimaru's thumb and armed with Mokuton. Naruto is dragged in war when Kumo and Iwa attacks his village ally Kiri. Teammate was seen fighting Kumo and Iwa nins with Kiri nins. Hinata gets kidnapped by Kumo nins. Bibba almost dies, but Naruto saves him. Teammate witnessed Kyuubi outside Naruto as they were told, and Kiba experience a change, no longer seeing Naruto as a demon. Bibba was able to identify a mysterious person as Naruto Uzumaki. Banbu shows up and reports to teammate to return to Konoha. Bibba reveals information about Naruto too. Kyuubi's freedom and the events is revealed. Kyuubi spots Hinata and a planned prank is formed. Naruto is left to deal with last Kumo ship while Kyuubi returns Nin's home. Chapter 3. What happened to the elite team consisting of Jiraiya, Kakashi, Guy, and Asuma, along including Kurenai's removal from the retrieval team Tsunade, had created as a last-second event to add to the ambush created by Kumo and Iwa. Kushina recovers early and is released. Kabuto gains more power to become more like Orochimaru. Konoha ninja retrieves Sasuke and hurts Odo. Hinata meets Naruto clones, and Naruto changes his name while giving clones or new siblings names they would use. The new siblings' personality traits is revealed. Naruto shows Hinata around, while Arashi gets angry due to his dislike towards Konoha and their nins. For Naruto, dark, light, female with combination, and infant. Kumo's arrival and Naruto's prank results. Filler B, Yujito, and Mabui leaves Kumo for several reasons. Konoha's reaction to Flash Master's identity. Tsunade retires, allowing Danzo to take seat as Hokage. Danzo, Kaharu, and Homura create plan to save Konoha, which involves Akatsuki. Chapter 4. Clone Naruto gets sent to Konoha for intel. Hinata's death is revealed, as well as how Akage died of explosion, which was small nuclear bomb. Arashi is assigned to watch over Naruto. Tsunade is revealed to be Hokage again after being scolded by Fire Daimyo. Hinata's death affects Hinabi for worst when she grows cold to entire Hyuga clan. Akatsuki reveals the fact that they can't find seven-tailed beast out of 9. Naruto assists Asuma along with his temporary team and kills Haiden. Bikuzu retreats. Arashi formulates a plan to eliminate clone Naruto and destroy Konoha's alliance. Chapter 5. Death of clone Naruto is revealed and Konoha's complete loss of alliance. Arashi reports information on Konoha after absorbing him, plus gives Naruto Sasuke's new eyes. Minato emerges as Naruto once again. Arashi asks Naruto for a personal mission to Iwa. Kushina makes an appearance. Madara's reaction to Naruto's death and body disappearance. Madara orders for Sasuke's head. Akatsuki sends members to kill Sasuke. Uchiha Pain volunteers to go. The Mizukage receives plan from Naruto on when to strike. Orochimaru revises plan that will include the 15 Uchiha children Sasuke left behind. Vegito, B, and Mabui heads to Nadeshiko. Arashi scanned the area around him as he slowly made his way into Iwagakure to begin their destruction. Many thoughts passed through his mind as he thought about how he would destroy Iwa in the coolest way possible or how to start the slaughter of Iwa nins. He wanted this event to go down in history, so it had to be something that would be etched into their mind as the most horrifying day ever. It would rival Konoha's fear of Kyuubi or surpass it one way or another. When he was done with Iwa, they would mourn the deaths of so many people every year. Visions of dead bodies all around Iwa flashed before his eyes. His blue eyes turned a dark shade of purple, but shifted back to blue when he gained control over his rising bloodlust. He needed a great plan first, plus he had to set the bomb down first, so when he died, the bomb would cause destruction to the village, giving Kiri a chance to finish the job. Arashi used a solid transformation and slipped into the village without alerting anyone of his presence. It wasn't hard to slip into Iwa considering how lame their security system was. He went to the heart of Iwa where he planted the bomb right near the towers, then used a cloak seal to hide it. Phase 1 of his slowly forming plan was now complete, so now he needed to think of phase 2 of his plan. He could either start off in the heart of Iwa by killing civilians until nins arrived a few minutes later or start off at the entrance by killing off a few patrollers to alert them that someone was killing them off slowly. Maybe killing the cage then fighting a few others on the way out before the explosion went off would help. He continued brainstorming ideas until he came up with one he would use, but still no way to start his idea. He could set the bomb for a certain amount of time while he killed his way into the village, meaning he would have to be entering the village. The nins would all chase him down until he was near the bomb, where he would fight until the bomb killed everyone off, including himself. It wasn't like he was real to begin with, so why not go out with a bang? Now the question was, what time should he set the bomb on before he began his assault? After thinking about it for a while, he decided to set the bomb on 20 minutes and would start ticking down when he initiated it outside the village. He went back to the start of the village, then allowed his true form to show. He made the hand seal to activate the bomb, then walked towards two guards located at the gate. "Alt, please remove your mask and hand over any weapons, as well as your identification, sir." Arashi took a kunai and flicked it quickly, impaling the guard in the head. He waited as the other guard alerted the others before killing him as well. Several appeared at the scene, all armed with swords and a few other weapons. "Surrender now or suffer at the hands of Iwa." Arashi snorted at their little threat. "I have no intention of surrendering, Iwa nins. I'm here to simply play a game." The voice changes and glowing purple eyes put them all on guard. They dashed into action to cut this demon down before it had a chance to strike. Arashi moved slightly and the group stopped. Their heads rolled off their bodies without resistance. More came towards him and started going through hand seals. Oten. Crashing sphere. Anbu picked up a large sphere from the ground and hurled it towards Arashi. Arashi avoided the sphere completely, allowing the large rock to strike the gates of Iwa. Oten. Golem force. 50 golems rose from the ground, all wielding large rock-based weapons. Arashi allowed a smile to grace his lips. It seems that Iwa wasn't as weak as he originally thought. He would enjoy playing with them for a while after all. He dashed towards the golem force with wind blades around his kunai. The golems charge as well in an attempt to crush him no matter what. Arashi dodged the initial strike from the golem with a roll while cutting his legs off in the process. He immediately jumped over a large rock club onto the head of a golem. Several golems swung their heads toward him, but Arashi once again jumped. The golem he was standing on dropped to the ground after losing his head. Arashi landed on another golem for a few seconds when several kunai were launched at him by the group of nins arriving. Arashi slowly allowed bloodlust to take control over him as he noticed the numbers of nins increasing rapidly. Dust release. Detachment of the primitive world technique. Arashi quickly made a clone and moved out of the way before anyone knew what he did. The shadow clone was trapped into a large cube where an explosion went off. Arashi turned to find that Tsuchikage glaring at him. By now a large grin was on his face. This would be a great battle to the end, and he was sure of it. Also, the way he contained the bomb made him realize how the strike against Iwa wouldn't happen as planned. Luckily Naruto took that into factor and created a no-go seal located on his thumb. He channeled chakra to his thumb to alert Naruto and the others that the strike on Iwa would fail. He knew the cage would be able to save much of the village from the blast, but either way Iwa would still be too weakened to launch any attacks. They would be too busy repairing the damages he would leave behind and to keep their numbers from dropping too low. On the other hand, would suffer greatly, especially when they lost their cage. "Who are you and where are you from?" Arashi turned to the elder man and stared at him as if he grew multiple heads. Did he really think he would say something like "Nadeshiko sent me and I'm Arashi"? Arashi shook his head at the cage. "Who I am doesn't matter right now, geezer. Right now I'm going to kill as many people as I can, so goodbye." Arashi dashed towards the village with Tsuchikage flying right behind him. His head snapped backwards to confirm that he was indeed flying. How the hell did Iwa nins learn how to fly? If anything, your places like Sky Country should know how to fly, not a rock. Iwa became more and more interested by the second. Several large rocks indicated that the elder man wasn't far behind him, even though he wasn't moving at full speed. "Get back here, you youngster, so I could crush you." A loud crack was heard throughout the village. "Ouch, my fucking back." Arashi couldn't contain his laughter when he heard that last line. "Oten." Mud river, and spat out a large out of mud in hopes to slow him down. Arashi noticed the civilian being escorted out of the village and was surrounded by barriers. Two nins kept the barrier up and he could tell they were strong. He was brought out of his musing when he sensed several boulders flying towards him. He avoided each with ease, then turned to find Aniki with a large concentration of Iwa nins surrounding him. Inoki smirked at the teen in front of him. "You're surrounded by boys, so give up and maybe we let you live for 10 minutes longer than we originally wanted to kill you. You can't possibly beat all of us." Arashi started laughing at the elderly man in front of him. The others began to think he had lost his mind by now. Arashi stopped laughing as he released his chakra until it was blazing like fire. The others tensed when they saw how much chakra he was showing, add to the fact that his chakra was actually purple. "I'll tell you this once, geezer, and only once. I'm here to kill, as much as I can, so surrender isn't an option. Now I think it's time to show you mine and try to stay alive. Arashi's hand blurred through a few hand seals at speeds Aniki only saw the Sandaime Hokage perform before. Shakutan, scorching heat. Burning wind. As soon as the other heard the burning wind, many of them threw up shields, but not all of them were lucky when Arashi blew out intense heat to dry them up. Arashi went through another set of hand seals to cast another. Ranton, storm release. Ballistic laser beam. Several beams were fired from his fingers as he spun around, penetrating the rock shields and struck a few unlucky individuals from critical to non-critical areas. Arashi took off as they released their shields to attack him once again. He stopped once he was close to the towers, where he estimated that for the next 15 minutes they would fight until the explosion went off, killing as many nins before it was contained and taking out the tower, which contained important documents ranging from forbidden to information on every person in the village. This would keep them occupied for a while unless they had backup information, which he was sure they had. Still, they would beef up their security while they recovered. Oten. Meteor shower. Oten. Hands of lithos. Rising walls. Arashi watched as one nin threw a large rock into the sky and allowed it to explode. While large rocks dropped at him at high speeds, large hands made from rocks were closing in on him to smash him into a puddle. Large walls formed around the hands to ensure he didn't escape. Arashi yarned at their attempt to kill him. Now any other person would have suffered critical damage from this attack, but not individuals with teleportation. He flushed away as the attacks came together. The Iwa nins outside the wall watched as the wall crumbled together on everything. They cheered at the thought of Nin being dead once and for all. Inoki stretched a few times to relieve the pain from his back. That youngster didn't know what hit him. He shouldn't have messed with Iwa, but it's his funeral. What a funeral, geezer. Inoki turned around to find an unscratched Arashi right behind him. Arashi moved over the rubble, revealing himself to every Iwa nin in front of him. They were all shocked to see him unharmed by their combination attacks. Arashi looked at the watch to find that he had 10 minutes until the great big explosion. He diverted his attention to the shocked group in front of him. Did you really believe I would die so easily? You guys are pitiful. Look at the damage you all caused to your own village. I barely attacked you guys, yet so much damage was dealt to this village. Inoki realized that what he said was true. During this entire time he's been here, his men were doing the most attacks. He grits his teeth in anger when he realizes how stupid he made him and his men look. He allowed killing intent to spike towards the teen in front of him. The people that know about his temper grew nervous. When Inoki got angry, bad things happened. A crazed look entered his eyes and a few members ran away. When Inoki released his weights, every other nin ran away, knowing how ugly this fight would get. Arashi allowed his bloodlust to rise to its peak as he engaged in battle with the Elder Cage. The Iwa nins all went a good distance away from the fight and watched as the two nins tossed one after another. They were amazed that the teen was able to keep up with their cage so easily. 10 minutes into the fight, they noticed Inoki land a blow on the teen, sending him to the rubbles. Right as Inoki went to finish the teen off, a loud explosion triggered where the towers were. The large flash forced the others to shield their eyes for a brief moment. They turned back to find Inoki containing the large blast with his small shield. A few nins, seeing him struggle, sprung into action and aided their cage until the explosion was over. Once the smoke cleared, they all stared in horror at the deep hole where the towers used to be. Based on the power of the explosion, Inoki knew the bomb could have taken out a large proportion of the village, and that scared him a little. A few Iwa nins ran over to him and congratulated him on his success, ignoring his shocked look. What kind of bomb was that? He knew this bomb wasn't a mere modified paper bomb. I didn't win this fight. That statement stopped all cheering. Before they could ask why he said that, when he landed a powerful blow, he explained to them why he lost. Something happened to him that caused his body to stiffen for a brief moment. It was like he suffered from chakra backlash or something. Either way, it shows that I'm too old to continue running as Cage. We need someone younger to run as Cage. We also need to pull back from the war to recover and possibly strengthen our security. War will only weaken us right now. I will summon the council members to begin the choosing of a new Cage, but in the meantime, help prepare the village plus beef up security while you're at it. We don't want another attack to happen like this one now, do we? Note Tsuchikage-sama. The group separated from each other to begin their work. None of the Iwa nins were aware of the plant Akatsuki member, as he recorded everything before sinking into the grounds, or tried to. A kunai impaled him in the head, killing him instantly. A civilian walked over and sealed his body away. Lord Kabuto would love to see what information this Akatsuki member has in store for him. I'm sure Orochimaru-sama would love to dissect him as well. The secret Odo spy slipped out of the village with the intention of giving his masters the body and information on Iwa. He was sure his master would be pleased with his work. Once he was out of the village, he allowed bat wings to sprout from his back as he took flight towards Iwagakure. Unknown location. Itachi was found relaxing in peace, or so it seems. His mind was in turmoil as to what was going on with his village. Itachi couldn't understand what Konoha was doing right now, but whatever they were doing was leading Konoha towards their own doom. He needed to speak with Jiraiya soon about pulling the whole spy operation now so he could defend his home and show his brother the path he wanted him to take. He thought his brother would understand his intention through his cryptic message, but that wasn't the case. His hate blinded his younger brother and clouds his judgment too much, and he was looking more like a true Uchiha each day, being corrupted, power-hungry, and monsters. Still, it wasn't like he was able to show up anytime and expect the people of Konoha to believe him. Only Hiruzen, Kaharu, Danzo, Himura and Jiraiya knew the truth of the Uchiha clan massacre. No one else knew about the Uchiha's plot to take control of Konoha or die trying. He knew what the results of that would have ended up being, so he locked his heart and emotions away as he killed every Uchiha member. When he got to his brother, he just couldn't kill him no matter how much emotional training he went through. His brother meant so much to him, so losing him would mean losing his remaining light. He also needed to give Sasuke his father's eyes so he could see again. Itachi was brought from his thoughts when Kisame approached him with a grin. "Hey, guess what I found out about Itachi? Pain's going over to eliminate your little brat along with Konoha." Itachi did a good job in hiding his anger towards not only Madara, but all of the Akatsuki members he had to deal with. They were all corrupted in their own ways, and it disgusts him. Kisame was a traitor of his home that fled after taking the sword he now wields from his sensei. He always wanted power, so he continued stealing it from others as he went along. He was known as the monster of the hidden mist. When people spoke about him, it was through fear. "Hey Itachi, you're spacing out again." Itachi cut his thoughts short when he saw Kisame waving his sword in front of him. Kisame was a tough fighter in the long run, but overall he wasn't a fighter on par with him or Konoha elites. Did Madara really believe Kisame would be able to kill him should the time come around? That had to be the only explanation why Madara paired him up with him. Each Akatsuki pair was created based on strengths and weaknesses. Madara and Sasori were capable of killing each other. Madara used clay explosives, while Sasori used puppets. They were considered group artists. The thing about Madara was that he used long-ranged attacks through moving explosives and tended to fight from the sky. This would have given him an advantage if Sasori didn't use projectiles when fighting. Haiden and Kakuzuaka, the zombie brothers, both had abilities that could get rid of each other. Haiden, while immortal, could be shredded into pieces, making him completely useless, but at the same time Haiden could stab himself 5 times in the areas Kakuzu's heart would be located to kill him. Madara and Pain would be on par with each other, or so it seems. Both possessed powerful eyes capable of causing destruction, as well as weaknesses that could be their downfall. Pain had multiple bodies that separated his abilities. This has both pros and cons, considering that all Madara had to do was target the weakness of each body or attack the real leader. Madara, on the other hand, had to be careful when using his eyes. His eyes weren't as sharp as they once were, plus each use brought him close to blindness. Itachi always believed that the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan didn't have that blindness weakness, but he found out that was partially true. While the eyes could avoid the weakness of going blind, that actually depends on what the user does with the eyes. If Madara was to use only the normal abilities of the Sharingan up to 3 Tomo, he would never have to worry about going blind ever. But since Madara used teleportation, Amaterasu, Tsukiyomi, and a few others, he put a lot of stress on his eyes. Those techniques put an unholy amount of stress on the eyes that caused the Sharingan to slowly wear out, thus leading to blindness. He knew from first-hand experience about the downfall. In order to repair his eyes, he needed chakra from an Uzumaki clan member. Since Naruto is the only clan member left, only he would be able to repair Madara or Itachi's eyes. The problem was Naruto was dead now, or was he? Naruto was known for his pranks when he was in Konoha. Did Naruto somehow manage to fake his own death to avoid Akatsuki? That would make sense, plus it would get rid of attention. Surely his little brother couldn't have killed him so easily, especially when he knew teleportation. The more Itachi thought about Naruto's death, the more suspicious he started to get. He would look into Naruto's death as soon as he left Akatsuki. "Itachi, you're spacing out again." Itachi looked at Kisame with a neutral facial expression. His eyes slowly scanned him, as if in thought. "I guess this is the end of the line, Kisame." Itachi's eyes morphed into the Mangekyo Sharingan to produce black fire. Kisame jumped back to avoid most of the flames, but his left arms and leg were caught on fire. Kisame cut them off, then allowed his arm and leg to grow back by using 90% of his sword's chakra. The loss of chakra left Kisame nearly out of energy. He prepared for battle when he noticed Itachi drawing his sword. "I guess I'll have to kill you now, Itachi. It's a shame Akatsuki's going to lose such a fine soldier, but we'll find someone to replace you." Besides, I was always curious to see which one of us was actually stronger, and now we'll have the perfect time to find out. Itachi swallowed a food pill to allow his energy to replenish from his initial attack. He sighed at the fact that his initial attack only left him in a weakened state, but took that as a gain. He had the advantage right now if the small sword was to go by. Regrowing his limbs must have consumed monstrous amounts of chakra. Based on the sword's size and Kisum's current condition, Kisum won't be able to toss around a high level as he did in the past. He on the other hand didn't toss around high leveled, plus he didn't rely on to begin with. Years of training under Danzo allowed him to fight without chakra. You're too arrogant for yourself, Kisum, and that will be your downfall. You rely on chakra which you don't have much of now. Since most of you are high level ones, you'll be losing this match soon. Kisum chuckled at the Uchiha member in front of him. You sound arrogant as well, Uchiha. You sound like every other Uchiha member I've met in the past. As a matter of fact, you sound a little like Madara Uchiha. The slightly surprised look on Itachi's face was not missed by Kisum. Of course I know who the leader is, though I'm not sure which of the two is stronger. Pain does seem powerful as well as Madara. I'll get to see who the strongest is when they start fighting over leadership. Right now I have a traitor to get rid of. Kisum gripped the handle of his sword and prepared to fight. Itachi allowed a smile to appear on his lips. Both missing nins tossed their cloaks to the group, then charged at each other with the intent to kill. Two swords clashed against each other multiple times for dominance against each other. Itachi blurred out of Kisum's sight and pain erupted from his side. Kisum glanced where the pain came from to find a gash on his side. He turned back to find Itachi swinging his sword to the ground, disposing of the blood from his sword. I received a little training from the Yondaime Hokage at one point, so I do have a great deal of speed. I just never showed anyone. It was my ace card in case something like this was to happen. What I showed you was just a sample of what I'm able to do. Let me show you my true speed before I dispose of you. Itachi dashed around Kisum at max speeds. Itachi's speed was so fast that he left multiple after images as he circled Kisum. Kisum watched multiple Itachi's faces away, only to be replaced by more of them. He couldn't believe his partner hid this from him, as well as Akatsuki. He prepared to counter Itachi's attacks in hopes, but he couldn't prepare for what happened next. Itachi wiped the blood from his sword on Kisum's robes before burning it, along with his mutilated body. Kisum didn't survive his wave of slashes and the decapitation. He took Kisum's ring before taking off to meet Jiraiya to pull the plug on Akatsuki. He had gained enough information on each member to take them down with ease. Once Akatsuki went down completely, he would be able to help Konoha rise once again. The end. Thanks for watching my video, and make sure to check out the author of this fanfic, link is in the description. See you next time, till then sayonara.